The Vanishing Passenger. The night was heavy with an unnatural silence, as Danny, an experienced taxi driver who had seen his fair share of strange fares, maneuvered his yellow cab through the winding, dimly lit streets of the city. He glanced at his dashboard clock, which read 2:37 a.m., and he knew it was going to be one of those eerie nights when the streets seemed haunted. His radio crackled with static as he received the call, "Pick up on Maple Street." Danny sighed, not particularly thrilled about this late-night fare. He steered his taxi towards the dark and narrow lane. The address led him to an old, dilapidated building that seemed abandoned. He hesitated for a moment, but then he spotted a figure standing by the roadside. The passenger was a woman, her face concealed by the hood of her tattered cloak. She seemed frail and trembling. Her voice was barely a whisper as she muttered, "Central Park, please." Danny couldn't see her face clearly, but there was something unsettling about her presence. He nodded and unlocked the door, allowing her to enter. As she stepped into the taxi, he caught a faint scent of damp earth and decay, sending shivers down his spine. The ride began in silence, the only sound being the tears against the wet asphalt. The passenger never made eye contact, and her pale, bony fingers clung tightly to the straps of her bag. Danny's unease grew with each passing block. The city's streets were deserted, and an eerie mist rolled in, obscuring his vision. When he glanced in the rearview mirror, he could barely see her reflection. Her face remained hidden beneath the hood, and her eyes appeared as mere hollows. She had no luggage, which made Danny even more suspicious, but he couldn't refuse a fare. As they entered Central Park, the atmosphere turned even more sinister. The lampposts cast long, menacing shadows, and the silence was deafening. Danny tried to strike up a conversation. "So, late night stroll in the park, huh?" No response. The woman remained motionless. He stole another glance in the rearview mirror, and his heart skipped a beat. The passenger was gone, her seat empty. Shocked and trembling, Danny slammed on the brakes, bringing the taxi to a screeching halt. He leapt out of the car and frantically scanned the park. The fog had thickened, shrouding everything in an impenetrable haze. Panicking, he called out, "Hello? Where are you?" No reply, only the distant sound of leaves rustling. He knew he had to investigate, no matter how terrifying it was. His footsteps echoed through the mist as he ventured deeper into the park, each step intensifying his fear. Then he stumbled upon it, the source of the eerie presence. In a clearing, he found the woman, standing near a tombstone with her hood down, revealing her ashen face. Her eyes were hollow, devoid of emotion, and she whispered, "It's too late for you." Danny's breath caught in his throat as he realized that the tombstone bore his own name, alongside today's date. Trembling with fear, he staggered back, attempting to escape the dreadful sight. But as he retreated, he heard the whispers of otherworldly voices, a chorus of the dead closing in on him. His footsteps faltered, and he found himself enveloped by a dense, ghostly mist. The nightmarish voices grew louder, echoing in his ears as he realized he was trapped in this spectral realm, destined to join the vanishing passenger in her eternal journey. Back in the taxi, the meter continued to tick, the engine idling in eerie solitude, as Central Park once again became shrouded in an unsettling silence, with only a lingering feeling of dread and an eerie trail of clues to mark Danny's disappearance.